Me. Ugh. It's the sound test. Sorry, D. Should probably use my glasses. Eye strain all the time. Hi. Right, we will start pretty soon. Drop my tea. Where was the other patch watch? In general, is UK mission. Let me tweet out that I'm streaming. That's a ruddy good idea, isn't it? I am almost ready. I just want to tweet out and post on my Discord that I am streaming. Because it's a weird time for me to be streaming. Top of the morning. The app clocks have gone an hour forward. Let's close this. Ooh, that's why Moist Noodle contacted me. Okay. I cannot verify the validity of this, and I'll do it off screen, as not to dox anyone when I haven't actually done the validity of it. Okay, we'll have a read of this in a minute. This is some PvP drama. A Moist Noodle. Yeah, well, let me make my face appear. Hello, this is my face appearing. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you are having a lovely Sunday. It's my birthday weekend. Birthday week. We'd like to extend it. Birthday month. Like to extend it out as long as I can, especially during lockdown. Been some slight disruption to the channel, but it's been okay because 3.13 wasn't actually released yet to first wave PTU. So Cloud Imperium had targeted it for a PTU release for Friday, so a couple of days ago, but it just wasn't ready yet. Bam, wasn't ready yet. Elfwin, 42, Mr. 42, thanks for all the subs. Oh my god, there's a load of subs. Icon Gecko, Cast, Conti, Jackie, and Mr. Mentalist. I'm sorry if I butchered all of your names, every name that I say. Thank you so much for the subs. That'll go on for a little while. Happy birthday, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a 36-year-old, tubby, bald, egg-shaped YouTuber, and I'm living the dream. So, sort of am. I get to see what I want. Fortunately, what I want is to make Star Citizen videos and look after my family. It's lovely. I can do that. And the apocalypse with the Nona, the Rona, has been okay with me. Like, yeah, YouTube revenues are down significantly, but we had expanded to a relatively good size. Thank you very much, Elfwin. Oh, for the bits as well. Oh my god. Just la 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 la. I appreciate the birthday cake bits. That's an amazing little emote. Thank you. I'm on keto at the moment as well, so because of the keto diet, which I'm not sure if I recommend it yet or not. Give it a couple more weeks. I've been on it for like 3 weeks or a month now. You have a load of a medium amount of protein, a good amount of protein, and lots of fat. But you have very low carb and extremely low sugar. So I think I'm trying to have under 4 grams of sugar a day if possible. The target, which is quite hard. Just a little bit of sugar and everything, and pretty as close to nil carbs as I can. That's not from just veg. Happy birthday! It's nearer time than normal. It is an earlier time than normal. The reason for that is because didn't stream on Friday because I was tired and it was my birthday. Zin had Zin's birthday's the day before mine, so in the future we might have like some proper events and stuff. But I tell you what we were doing on our birthdays. We were playing Eco. So me and Zin have been playing Eco with another couple of our mates, a guy from CIG and one of our good mates as well. All good mates. We've known them for a while now. We're playing Eco for the first time, and it's very time-consuming. Pretty chill. And Salty Mike's invited me and I believe my group, maybe, I'm trying to negotiate that, to play Eco with them in May. If that's still the plan with him, I'm not sure if stuff will change. But yeah, we were like, yeah, that sounds cool, because we're not playing in the same social way. We're playing super co-op together, for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of infighting and a bit of argument of... Well, I'm quite messy, I would describe, in my storehouse stuff. I just go, chuck it in the storehouse and get this stuff manufactured. That's how I'll be playing Star Citizen. I'll be efficient as possible, if necessary, if being more efficient with my production and my cycles and going out and doing stuff is better for overall income, then I'll do that. If it's not, then I'll work hard at doing more. Do you see what I mean? There's a time associated with efficiency. Do I gear up and become more efficient at something? Because if I'm 20% more efficient at that, that's a load more money. Or do I just work harder and do more? Yeah? Sorry, I just had a bit of a rant there. But Eco's really cool. So Eco, really chill game. You can't die. Well, you can die one way that we've seen, and that's getting hit by a meteorite. So basically, Minecraft-esque industry game where you start off in this sort of Stone Age, co-op for the most part from what we've seen, and you've basically got to destroy an incoming meteor that's going to hit your world in 30 real days. Real life days. Yeah? And we've got a dedicated server, so that's running, and in 30 days, if we haven't destroyed the meteorite, we're done. So you've got to sort of tech up to there and shoot it down with a laser, we think, maybe. But we don't really know, and we're sort of finding our way. And in the second day we were playing, Zen and Cam, they play a lot. Like, they are, in their spare time, they are just grinding for resources. Zin's a cook. Zin's doing farming, cooking, hunting, and she did the first sort of like major house building, because you get experience based on how teched up your house is and how good your diet is and things like this. And Zen and Cameron are super industrious, whereas me and Zin, I say, well, especially me, I try and push the tech forward, so I identify what we need and then do as quickly as possible get up to the next tech level. So I'll be like, we need fiberglass, bam, get this, or we need iron, get an iron mine, bam, do this. Oh, thank you so much, people. I'm just having a rant about eco. I haven't even started talking about Star Citizen yet. And the people are sending me loads of money and subs. Thank you so much. Splinter Pro, Splinter Pro. I can't say your name. My brain. So I'm dyslexic and I can't. Stuff that I've never read before, or people's names that are unique and I've never said before, I have terrible problems with. So people's internet names, they're just terrible for me to pronounce. That's what the reason I can't say stuff properly. That's also the reason I stutter or get confused at, when reading directly off something I haven't written. So notes I'm great with because I just have notes and then I can talk. But when it's something like a script, and this causes Zin a huge amount of issues. So talk to Zin when she's like, what's it like working with me? Disorganized, maybe. Well, there is theory to my, there's a method to my madness. But I can't do scripts properly. Like the script, if there's a script down, I will go massively off script. It annoys Zin a lot because what's the point in you even having a script or me writing this? Because sometimes she'll write a script for me, especially if it's like for a guide, and we sort of like try and keep to the scripts. Try and keep to the concise points. I can't do that. She has to cut a load of what I say out or ask me to re-record it and stuff like that. And that's important for guides. You want it concise, because you don't want to just fluff them out like I do with my other videos. I like talking about Star Citizen. I need to stop rambling and read chat. Hey, how's it going? What's with the headline? Did we screw up again? What? No. Is that you? Is that Chad? Is that Chad McKinney? I'm sorry that I didn't mean to. I am rambling. I will keep on rambling again in a second. Gonna stop my interruption. I'm gonna interrupt myself. Board you rock, Captain Prox. Thank you so much. I love your face. That's not you Proxus, is it? No, you'd be your Proxus. Spinner Bro, thank you very much for the sub as well. You set a tier 2 sub. I'm not even sure what that gives you. Something powerful and mighty, I'm sure. I love your face. Thank you so much. I will go through chat properly in a second. So, there's a couple of things going on. So 3.13 was, we were expecting, I think CIG were targeting for a Friday launch, and obviously they've had to push it back to what we believe to be a Monday or Tuesday launch for 3.13 first wave PTU. I say launch, going to the first wave of PTU. That's what it is. Cloud Imperium do not push a patch out anymore, or the plans are to not push patches to first wave PTU until they're finished in the Evocati phase. They don't just go, well, we've got to get it out. They've got all the time in the world. Well, they don't, but they've got they want to do stuff properly now, and they've got procedures, and they'll go, look, we'll push it back by a few days. If the 3.13 live doesn't get first week of April, they put it the second week of April, sort of thing. So it's done when it's done. No compromise is the idea there. It's spelt Jags. It's pronounced Jeff. Yeah, I know, right? Yes, I asked all. It's okay, no worries. I was just wondering, we got screwed on Star Citizen because of your headline. What? You got screwed? What? What? My headline? What did I do? What have I'm confused. Is my headline different than I think it is? It's just well, here, Alpha 3.13. That's alright. Are people just confused? It's just is that just a really confusing headline for people? Okay. That's sort of like more of an in-joke, I suppose. What here? Alpha 3.13? That's what it is. Sorry. Yes, it sounds bad. It does not. It's not meant to sound bad.
I'm sorry. I didn't even think. It's early in the morning for me, okay? And the clocks have gone an hour forward. I'm sorry. I'll change it. I'll change it. I would never change my title normally, but let's change it to what should we change it to? Don't even know. I'm gonna change it to something else. It's my birthday, and Alpha 3.13 isn't here. Wow, wow, wow. No, that sounds bad as well, doesn't it? I'm waiting for Alpha 3.13. What can I tell you? Okay. No, it's CIG. You do you. I'll say when I'm annoyed about something, but my job is just to report on what's happening with Star Citizen, and people can make up their own minds. Sometimes I'll be, maybe I'll be a bit critical, but I'm not overly critical of the project when it comes to being negative or anything, because that's not my job. I'm positive when I'm positive because I'm excited about something. So people are like, you're biased, and they're not. But everyone talks like that. They disagrees with me, but in my head they do. You know, it's all good. I love the project. But sorry about the title. I didn't even think. Okay. What I don't know. Best Sunday ever. Best Sunday ever. You want to know why? Click no. I can't. I don't. Now I don't even know what to say. I love birthday cake. No, I can't eat birthday cake on keto. Why is your head so bright? It just is. Okay, that's not even me setting up settings for it. It's just I've got a bright, shiny head. Okay, got a bright, shiny head. I mean, Alpha 3.13 delayed, but I still love you, CIG. There you go, Chad. There's my new title. You can have that. It's not been delayed. Well, it has sort of been delayed. Oh no, maybe it hasn't yet. Alpha 3.13 PTU delayed question mark. That's more clickbaity. But I still love you. There you go. There you go, Chad. There you go, everyone else. Hopefully that's less confusing. I think it might be more confusing though. There you go. Easy game. I haven't changed it on Twitch though, have I? How do I don't even know how I change stuff on Twitch. Not properly. How do I? Is there a button? I'm literally, I'd say, probably one of the worst streamers for, you know, just streaming, but also just understanding what the hell is going on. Zin should be here, and she should do all this for me. That's what I employ her. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe as a carer for myself. Do I have a dashboard? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry everyone has to deal with me. I don't feel that guilty. Edit stream info. Bam! There we go. There you are. Perfect. Sorted. There you go. Now everyone knows what's going on. Right? Yeah? Starlet Domina, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much for everyone that's chucking random amounts of money at me for my birthday. I don't know why that makes me worthy of getting any form of donations or whatever, but it is very much appreciated. Okay. We are still waiting on Alpha 3.13. Go to First Wave PTU. We're expecting Monday. Might not be Monday. That's not confirmation. It's just very probable. We know that Cloud Imperium were trying to launch for that PTU for Friday. They didn't make it. Wasn't ready yet. That's sort of fair enough. I want... So, it's really important that I accentuate and show the brightness of the top of my head. That's why I have this lighting like this. It's part of the look clearly. It's not that I can't be asked to work out how the lights work. I do like the why is your head so bright questions. You should use a light diffuser. It wouldn't work. My head's too shiny. I can confirm I've met BoredGamer at CitizenCon in Manchester and his head is that bright. Thanks. New tagline. BoredGamer, entertainingly terrible. Oh. Well, that just makes me feel bad. I have £1,200 into Star Citizen over 4 years. Whenever I ask a Star Citizen streamer whether they think about what they think about Odyssey, they say it all looks shit and refuse to reply. Why? I'm going to play Odyssey. I think they gave me the alpha the other day. The Elite sent me a big pack of cool stuff, including. Look, I've got Elite Dangerous Odyssey earbuds. It's probably going to be quite a good game. I mean, the way that they've developed Star Citizen doesn't have to be the best way of developing a game. The development cycle is incredibly slow for Star Citizen. I love it. I love the community. I don't love the length of the development cycle, but I'm prepared to make the sacrifice. And I love the fact that we've got stuff to play now, and we can play it now. Now, if I was making a game, I'd make the basic game that had some solid gameplay loops as simply as possible, like they did with Elite Dangerous, and then add more onto it. Now, do I want to play Elite Dangerous in the same way I want to play Star Citizen? No. I love Star Citizen. I love the plans for Star Citizen. I love Star Citizen on paper. I love the high fidelity. I love the Star Citizen community more from what I've experienced of it. But I haven't experienced much of the Elite Dangerous community. I played a bit of Elite Dangerous. Odyssey looks great and a great addition to Elite Dangerous. I think it's going to be good. Why would people refuse to play that? That would be ridiculous. It's like refusing to play any other game. There's space in the world for more space games. Okay, and in fact, Star Citizen's going to be quite a while before it's actually fully released. So if people want to play other games and Star Citizen want to take the good and the good points from some of these games that come out in the meantime and go, this didn't work from them. Great. I mean, No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous and Eve and a billion other games, maybe not a billion, that's a bit of an exaggeration, a few dozen other games will have influenced Star Citizen by the time it's released quite heavily. And hopefully that will be giving us a better game because of it. And I think that's probably true. That's what the hope is, and that's what my trust in CIG is. Like, they're going to produce a great game. So, Splinter Pro, did you just... Splinter Pro... Thank you very much. You keep donating loads of subs to people. Kenneth, Fan, Poutine Barbecue, Infidel Dog, and Slackoff. You've all been forcibly subbed to my channel. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Did I say these other people as well? Easy P, Joe Beastmaster, and Dr. Grimrock. You monsters. Splinter Pro. And Elfwin donating loads of subs, pushing my ratings up. Thank you, it's very much appreciated. Oh, you stars. So yeah, one of the other things I'll want to talk about in a minute is the someone posted on Twitter about potentially killing and attacking other players and griefing. Getting their account warned and their org warned and stuff, so I don't know the full extent of it, and we'll talk about that in a bit of a wider thing, because obviously there is going to be stuff that, if it's against CIG's terms of service and it's like genuinely bullying or whatever, then that's bad. But if it's people just, playing around, messing around and shooting people and not actively griefing, well, should you really give them warnings? And we'll talk about that in a minute, because we'll read and we'll just report on that and have a bit of a chat. So the things like, okay, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky released No Man's Lie, in my opinion, total lie when the game came out of what it had in it. It's like it's supposed to have multiplayer on release, and they mismarketed it. They basically, in my opinion, lied about a lot of the game. And it was a bad game on release for the most part. But now, No Man's Sky is a genuinely great game. They sat down, they worked hard on it, and No Man's Sky is fantastic, I'd say. And so even a game that's pretty bad on release or not up to spec can get there eventually. And that they had spent a little bit of time, I say a little bit of time, another year on development of No Man's Sky before releasing, I think they would have had a great release as well. But yeah, there's room for more than one base game, especially in the meantime, while CIG are building Star Citizen. And Squadron 42 is going to come out significantly before Star Citizen goes live. The Persistent Universe goes properly live. But it's playable now, to an extent, so... the Barris... Oh my god. The Barris Saxy Nerd. The Barry Saxy Nerd? Perfect. Why has everyone got weird names? Why does everyone choose a weird... I suppose it's because you want to be unique on the onlines. What school? What's your nickname? My nickname is the Barry Saxy Nerd. It's okay. Barry? Yes. Do you think they want to add an alien exploration ship to Star Citizen? Maybe a Banu one? So, I think that they will try to fill as many holes as possible when it comes to gameplay loops. So, I expect to have, for most gameplay loops, a small, medium, and large ship. And then some supporting ships for that gameplay loop as well. And potentially a vehicle, if sensible. And them to expand a lot of these gameplay loops to aliens as well, where sensible. Banu exploration ship, is that sensible? I don't actually know. Are the Banu known for exploration? Or are they fine in their solis and their fleets? So, I need to look at the lore of that. I'd like to see... Are humans defined in the game by having the urge to explore? Because like in Star Trek and lots of other sci-fi stuff, it's like the humans are their special powers are the want to explore sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Teshik, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate all the subs today. I don't normally stream on Sunday. I thought I'll stream. I've been away for a while. Been feeling pretty rough actually. Felt a bit rough on my birthday. But I appreciate people turning up and having a bit of a chat. I mean, we will go a bit deeper into Star Citizen topics in a minute after me ranting. Yeah, so Cyberpunk's another great example of a game that needed a bit more time for sure. But it's also, well, actually, my first playthrough of Cyberpunk was not bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best game in the world, but it was not bad at all. It was a good, fun game. I'm waiting and have been waiting for my new CPU and GPU for 6 months plus after I bought them when they were in stock. Oh my god, don't we started on this. And then I'm going to do my next playthrough of Cyberpunk with RTX on. All the ray tracing stuff on 4K. That's my plan. And obviously it's been updated a lot since then, so... Now, someone was mentioning VR earlier, so I still think we're almost... I think that they'll want to get VR in for Squadron 42 at some point, but they'll talk about that a bit more after we get some Vulkan integration, that Gen 12 renderer that they've been working on that we should see hopefully later this year. I will think more carefully about my titles in the future. I love the fact that that panicked someone into, have we done something wrong? I appreciate that hustle. I appreciate the oh, what have we done? That's very responsive. Do you think that the Reputation is a game changer, or is it still early days without maybe iCache and the Pyro system? So, okay, Reputation, when fully fleshed out, yes, huge game changer. What we're getting in 3.13, it is certainly another reason to play and a lot more reason to grind, and will affect the game in quite big ways. But it's alpha. It's early stages while we're in alpha, for the most part. I mean, obviously we're plodding towards a beta in the next 3 or 4 years, probably beta sort of thing. But it's early days, but it's a big thing, and as that gets more fleshed out, it is a bigger thing. If you see what I mean, Reputation's super important. The Reputation system is... there's 2 ways, really, in Star Citizen how to define your progression. And that's assets, monies and assets, and reputation. Your reputation is going to be your mission progression, your sort of like your grinded skill, your grinded affinity and rep with a company. It's going to allow you to do load more missions. It's going to give you bigger payouts. It's super important. So, and if people don't know what we're talking about, so the reputation system starting more readily. We sort of have it in game fractionally, but we've got a UI coming with 3.13 with Mobilcast to show off your affinity and your confidence with a given mission giver or org, and the scopes of their different sort of mission sets. So you could be like the Crusader Industries, you could do some mining missions for them, say, and you could be work your way up, and the more you do, the more payout you get as a bonus, more missions you get access to, and you also gain rank, and you sort of like be a lieutenant colonel and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on there that will actually make the game a lot more interesting and the grind more worthwhile. So yeah, I've done early days with my Oculus Rift DDK2. I was doing loads of stuff with the Vorpix and Star Citizen. I've got a Valve Index now. I'll mess around with it at some point, but it will obviously be a bodge job using Vorpix or something like that. Do you have any idea of when the new 890 jump updates will be? Can you be more specific on what you mean by new 890 jump updates? So 3.13, there's going to be little tweaks to load the ships. Obviously, it's going to get the writing on the side, and all ships are going to be getting things like materials updates. I mean, we know that they're going to do a bit more of and lighting updates and things like that. Get all the physicalized components in, so you'll see updates to the ship, and the 600i is going to get a bit more love. They're giving that some more tweaks. Major 890 jump overhaul or anything, not likely to happen. However, you might get some bits that they slot in over the next few patches to get it up to the level they want it. The 890 is pretty not in a terrible state. I mean, obviously there's bug fixes and stuff that need to be done with it. Do we know how far away 3.13 is? So very close. We're expecting first wave PTU Monday or Tuesday, and then based on that, it will go to live when it's ready. Beyond that, so you could have a live build by the end of next week. That would be optimistic, but that is still possible. A load of new people. Oh, thank you. So it's because I suppose we're streaming on a weird day. It's very much appreciated. So there's going to be a bit of an overhaul of the channel for 3.13. Obviously, I employ Zin full time as editor, and I've sort of like the first few months were sort of us working out what we're doing and getting Zin comfortable with doing video editing quite quickly and getting her to understand Star Citizen and that sort of stuff. But I do want to start moving into what I would deem BoredGamer 2.0, or 3.0 now, I suppose, or 4. We'll call it 4.0, because that sounds even. We'll call it 10.0. X, BoredGamer X. What are we talking about? I've lost my train of thought. But I want to move into the next sort of stage of Star Citizen and do a bit more gameplay, expand the channel exactly what it does Star Citizen-wise, make the content a bit better, and expand out the content a bit more, and play Star Citizen a bit more with the Discord and my community. So, the next BoredGamer, the next generation, yes. BoredGamer harder? No, wait, no, that sounds too sexy. So, yeah, I think, okay, the way that Star Citizen is funded and the fact it doesn't have a publisher is a double-edged sword. It means that you don't get stuff being pushed out early, you don't get stuff being pushed out incomplete, and you don't get, you get the game as the devs and as the original creator wants. Now that's good and bad, because you don't get the crunch in the same way. You don't, and that's again good and bad. It's good. Crunch is almost a necessary part of game development to get stuff finished now. Now, maybe it shouldn't be, and crunch can be terrible and soul draining to devs. And I'm glad that CIG don't do it in the same way. I suspect they do have some crunch periods for major patches, but I know that their employees' sort of well-being and efficiency and well-being is sort of like paramount to them. Like they've got people at the company that their job is to make sure the employees are happy and have cool stuff, and that's why they send them out those like packages and things. But yes, so if you love the original idea of Star Citizen and you want a game with no compromise, that's going to be Chris Roberts' vision, and you don't mind waiting, then what the Cloud Imperium have done for their monetization model and for their the way they're developing is for you. Like that's the way you do it, sort of thing. And do I think we'll get a great game out of it? Well, yeah, I do. I genuinely do. I think it will be Half-Life 2 levels of greatness. I don't know if that's probably one of my favourite games in the world ever. Sort of favourite games: Half-Life, Half-Life 2, one of the Quakes. I love Quake. I love Quake 2 and I love Quake 3 so much, but for different reasons. I think I played Quake 2 the most. I love the Source engine. So Titanfall and Titanfall 2. I love the Source engine. Source engine games. You should have made Star Citizen in Source engine. Wouldn't have looked as good. You have Gary's mod type physics. The Gangs of Pyro implies that you'll be... The new Gangs of Pyro implies that there will be available only when Pyro system arrives. Until then, do you know if we'll get any Gangs of Stanton? Maybe in Grimhex? Yeah, Ninetales Lockdown. There will be... So that there are pirates in the Stanton system. There are groups of pirates and factions in the Stanton system. And obviously Xenothreat have come through from Pyro to the Stanton system. So you might see some of those Pyro system pirates come through in the Stanton system. So yeah, you'll start to see some of this stuff. And there's going to be a Ninetales Lockdown event in Stanton, and you'll see some others as well. They've got 8 to 10 events that they want to do this year, in the same sort of way of Xenothreat or... Well, actually, just they've said events, and so some of those will be Xenothreat dynamic mission things. I appreciate all the love, and I appreciate all the subs. That's a lot of bits. Panther Modern. Thank you, Sarah, for the bits. Thanks for the bits. I can't say the the BoredGamer roadmap needs to be amended. I will have a roadmap. That's a great idea. So if you would like to ask a question, you want me to see something, a question in brackets, allows me to pick it up from the chat. When realistically do you think Squadron 42 is coming out? So not before 2022, end of 2022. It's my current I'm hoping mid 2022, to be honest. But end of 2022, that looks likely now. Oh. BoredGamer Reborn, nice. When am I getting a girlfriend? Clayton or Eric, when you go out and actively look for one or not, I mean, it depends on the type of person you are. Obviously, a lot of people are in lockdown at the moment, so once out of lockdown and it's easier to actually see people, people will be chomping at the bit to have partners. Maybe ? I don't know. I'm potentially not the best person to ask because I'm quite happy being single. I'm not actively looking for a partner, but I'm happy to find one if they just sort of turn up, like crawling through my window. Hi. So yeah, some people like to actively look. And you can go to, dating things, group events, and just, see you meet. See if you like them. Maybe not actively just go, I want to meet people for a partner, but just meet people, see if you like them, see if it develops. That's my dating advice. I'm dating guru. Don't actively look for I am only here to date people. Look for I want to meet people and see if that's the right person for me. Because you can't just go, oh, let's date. You need to know the person a bit first and be friends with them and want to spend time with them. Chances of Vulcan being fully integrated this year. So, I would love you, Neo, mate. I hope you're doing well, sir. Thanks for much for the... Give me a call the other day to wish me happy birthday. It's very much appreciated. Are you star? I love you too, mate. I hope you're doing well. So, I'd expect to see some of the Vulkan integration stuff, some updates to that will increase performance this year for the Gen 12 renderer. But obviously, they're going to keep on developing their engine and back end. What else have we got here? Starlit Domina. I probably already thanked you, but you can have another thanks. Will there be a money reset when 3.13 comes? So, Cloud Imperium have not said there's going to be a asset and reset for 3.13. So, I would expect your money and ships that you bought in-game to persist. Now, for the most part. Obviously, there are bugs sometimes, and if Cloud Imperium need to reset them, they will. What I would also recommend is before 3.13 goes live, take the components that you want to keep off your ship, and take any gear that you've got on your character off your character, so that it's in the ether, it's sort of like in your bags of store holding. Because often when they put up the new patch, they have a database sort of wipe, but it's not a long-term persistent database wipe. But that can clear off the components that are on your ship and delete them. So I will do a little video, if I remember, how to prepare for 3.13 best practices. Because, well, actually, there's a couple of other things as well, but it's Evocati at the moment. I can't discuss those patch notes. What does PTU mean? So that's a public test universe. But basically, it's got PU, which is the persistent universe. Yeah. Which exists both as a live version and sometimes in the PTU version as well. So that's the test universe. So it should be really called just the TU in my opinion. So TU test universe. My stomach hurts. Should I still eat this unripe banana? Are you hungry? What form of stomach hurt is it? Is it stomach hurt because I'm allergic to bananas and been eating them? Good day, Bored. So how's it going? And how's your father's health going? My father is doing very well, thank you very much. He's on some targeted treatment, which seems to be working wonders, quite genuinely. It's my parents' wedding anniversary today, so I'm leaving them to it. Chris Roberts is just making sure I don't break any NDAs. It's like 3.13, not first wave PTU yet, so shh. But for real, I only have room in my life for one game, and I've settled on Star Citizen. Nothing against ED or others. I like Star Citizen a lot. Like, it's super high tier. I love the community and I love the project. Probably more than I like the game, to be honest. I'm quite a social gamer, but I wouldn't just want to play just Star Citizen. Like, I like lots of games, for different reasons and for different things. Like, I like playing Apex Legends. I like Eco. I think I'll play 90% of my time probably in Star Citizen for a good few years, like quite genuinely. But of my gaming time, let's say, a lot of my time wants to sleep. But there's room in my life for lots of games, for sure. Can the 3090 do Cyberpunk at 4K ray traced? Yeah, but it depends on the frame rates you get. You want at least 30, or really you want at least 60, don't you? You're buzzing a bit when you're transmitting. It's because my fan's on quite loud. Let's fan myself down. A bit better? You tell me if that's a bit better, maybe. Why do you think Theatres of War isn't available? Do you think there is a server problem with only one planet and Theatres of War's map? Or perhaps is there something more deeper like communication between server and clients? What's your reasons? So, Theatres of War isn't ready yet for lots of reasons. I can't talk about the specifics of the Theatres of War tests, but what I can do is talk to you about what needed to be completed for CitizenCon 2019 when I played the demo there, and how Star Citizen sort of relates to that. So, Theatres of War, that is the Battlefield objective-based gameplay mode, combined arms, 2 teams, constantly moving objectives, and that sort of stuff. Arcadey, quick, pew-pew-pew, it's got spaceships, it's got huge scale, it's got planets, it's got lots going on, yeah? Good fun. But it suffers from a load of the problems that Star Citizen's Persistent Universe does. It needs a more refined network code. It needs animation improvements. It needs the delay and prediction improvements so that you don't have janky models. It needs to feel polished. And that's really what it is. It needs to feel polished, balanced, and have that netcode in there. And then also have a very, very, very refined and polished gameplay loop that sort of just works. So it needs more work. Like, they will be able to, in my opinion, within the next couple of quarters, open it up to a more public PTU test, but it will still be in PTU for a while, and they will release it when it's ready, like properly. But I think they will want a fully refined and polished and in a very good state game, well, in a good state, before they release that more to the wider public. Do you know what I mean? So CitizenCon 2021, I expect to actually see some form of event, quite possibly just online. But they provisionally hired the LA Convention Center for the 7th of August for CitizenCon. Now, that's looking less and less likely to be a physical event now, and they might just go, well, we can't have what we wanted there, so we'll do something else, and we'll do something online. That's my expectation. Like the things that we've heard about Tony Zerovic doing another updated quantum simulation sort of presentation. I suspect that would be a CitizenCon type thing for this year. But yes, I would expect to see a CitizenCon event this year, even if it's just online. Has there been any work done on the Reclaimer in 3.13? Nothing that has been announced. And nothing that I'm aware of, I can probably say. Surprise features for this year? Yes. You'll certainly see new ships and vehicles, and you'll certainly see a load of other little features turn up. There's going to be features that obviously get delayed from where we see them on the roadmap at the moment, but obviously new ones as well coming in. Like, for example, there are cave missions in 3.13. So there are new cave missions, new combat-based cave missions, along with the new cave types and entrances. But expect to see some refinement and additions to mechanics we already have in game as well. What were the vision or ship repair are like? Can I recover from a crash landing? So when your ship is too badly damaged, it will be you won't be able to repair like if you've lost an entire section of your ship. It's as far as I'm aware not going to be able to be repairable on the fly. You'll need to take it to a station or shipyard. But you might still be able to recover, even with just a damaged ship. Even if you've lost a section of your ship, it might still be flyable. And you might just need to replace components. You might just need to repair a little bit of it. With the physicalized components, as they flesh that out, that's going to have control surfaces and things like that. That's going to have ships flying a lot more appropriately to how they want. And yeah, you could have half a ship that still flies technically. But exactly what extent, how we're going to be able to repair stuff, that is a little bit of a mystery, because we know there's going to be repair drones. We know there's going to be repair ships. We know there's going to be shipyards and things like that. We also know there's a repair tool we're going to see from... Basically, we're getting the salvage tool in... Is it 3.14? 3.15? 3.15. Getting the salvage tool, which is also a repair tool. And that will hull strip, hull on the outside, and then you can actually use that canister of hull stripped goodness for repair. So there's lots of different types of repair. We haven't seen the first iteration of repair yet, and then they'll evolve it from there. But also you're going to be able to remove components and replace them. That's another type of repair. And they want to have damage control type repair as well. So like fuse boxes might blow on a ship, and you might need to, or relays, and you might need to replace or do some stuff to the relay physically there to get the power running again. And fires might break out and things like that as well. What's your most anticipated mechanics? Mostly economy ones. Really, most anticipated is bringing everything that Star Citizen together. The quantum system, load of the economy stuff. That's pretty exciting for me. What planet is this? It looks amazing. So this is actually the Squadron 42 vertical slice dummy from 2018? Question mark? End of 2018. This is Gainey, and this is Odin 1A. So this is effectively a rogue moon. Does it become a rogue planet? Odin 1 exploded, and it had a planet which is now sort of like in the coil. This is in the Odin system. How long are we off for a new system? So I'm expecting Pyro to be first half of 2022. And they're working on the Pyro system and the Nyx system, we know at the moment, and potentially some more. And obviously they've got the Turbulent Edge Studio, which is very focused on gameplay areas, new star systems, new planets, and they're planning to expand that up to like 100 plus people focused on that sort of gameplay. What did I have for breakfast? So I'm on keto. I had bacon. I had meaty sausages with sort of like no rusk filler or anything, and eggs. It was good. Solid breakfast. Thing you'll find with keto as a diet is that when you eat, you feel energy like pretty quick, and when you're tired, you need energy that's not sugar, because if you have sugar, then you come out of ketosis. How are you finding keto? Relatively easy to do. I used to be a chef, so I'm quite happy to do a bit of extra prep and to think about what I eat before I eat it. Also, there's takeaways around me like the German doner kebab, so I can have chicken doner with salad, and it's delicious on keto. So I find keto relatively easy to do. However, there are I'm not a massive, I don't have a massive sweet tooth, but sometimes I want ice cream, sometimes I want chocolate brownie. Shredded smoked sugared chicken is something I miss as well. And pizza. I like a good sourdough based pizza. And rice. Love rice. And pasta. So that missing out on those, like having such low carbs, is hard, but also I've got a fatty liver, or had a fatty liver, don't know anymore, and I had so I was trying to sort of lower. I was trying to get rid of the fatty liver, and keto is probably pretty good for it as well. Stock up on frozen yogurt. I haven't even thought about frozen yogurt. I thought that frozen yogurt had too many sugars or carbs in. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Oh, we use stock on frozen yogurt to replace ice cream or whatever. Okay, that's quite a good idea, maybe. Keto is one of the few legit diets. Nice. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but I think it's doing pretty well. I've only been on it for like 3 weeks to a month now. Have you tried a cauliflower pizza base? I'm not a huge fan of cauliflower. Oh, well, maybe I can learn to love it. I mean, I've had cauliflower cheese. I like cauliflower cheese, I suppose. I've had cauliflower rice. Maybe I should move on to cauliflower. I want to try some almond flour type stuff. Is chili part of the keto diet? I hope so. I love chilies. It's 5 AM here. I'll never catch a stream again. So I don't normally stream this early. Normally it's, you know, like 3 or 4 hours later. What else have we got? Insomnia pays off. Nice. I appreciate people turning up, especially when it's super early in the morning for them. Are they ever going to address why some fighters have medium shields and some light, but functionally operate the same way? I think they're just going to say it's customization purposes and sort of different component classes give you more choice in the game. That's basically how they define it. We'll see balance in the future, though. If they need to change the component sizes around, they will. Is it possible to buy ships off the RSI website? They make it kind of hard. Yes, you can buy ships. So often there's sales to allow you to buy more ships. You can buy gameplay packages and you can buy some ships off the RSI website. Just click on the pledge store. Bam. During sales, it's a lot easier to buy ships because they sort of have more ships available and they have a better looking UI for it. Or landing page for it. Are the Talons coming with 3.13? The Talons are already in game. The Talons are already in game. How long into 3.13 do you think the C2 and Nova Tonk will be available? So it's going to be... So the Nova Tonk, the C2 and M2, Hercules Starlifter, and ship-to-station docking are all coming in a 3.13.x patch. Some point in the next quarter. I think end of May, probably along with Fleet Week. When are we getting our buyback tokens? Is it January 7th? Star Citizen buy back. It's on the, let me tell you, January 7th was the last one, so the next one would be, what, April 7th? What? April 5th. Last one was January 4th. So, April 5th, July 5th, October 4th. I've not played the game in a long time. Is it worth picking back up in its current state? Last time I played, my Hammerhead came out. It's fantastic, Star Citizen, as a tourist. And 3.13 is about to go live within the next couple of weeks. So jump back in then and see what you think. Go check out all the new things. Check out the cave missions. Check out Push and Pull. Check out all the new locations that you haven't seen for a while. And there'll probably be a event at some point as well, like the 9 Days Lockdown or... how many people do you think tried to call their ship the Enterprise? I'll give you 1,000, probably. Oh, you're going to love my ship names. You're going to love my ship names. Are there any ship manufacturers we get in the future that exist in lore but have zero flyable or concept? Yes, there are. There are other manufacturers that you will see in the future that have yet to get ships or vehicles. Any hints to when iCache is coming out? So iCache is now part of the server meshing and persistent streaming sort of overall feature. iCache and server meshing features and bits and code is going to be part of everything going forward. Okay, so lots of systems already have some of this in place, and the optimizations that there are iCache optimizations are going into new features, and you will notice that going forward that you have a bit more optimized Star Citizen. Eventually, you'll get to a stage where they sort of like have the first proper iteration of server meshing. It goes live, and that's when you're going to notice lots of players on a server and potentially lots of bugs when it first goes live. But lots of stuff is now built with iCache in mind and with the iCache improvements. Hasn't really come into its own yet, though. When will the Idris be flight ready? Good question. People are thinking around the same time as Squadron 42's released. You want your partner to be a turnip. Nice. Nice, Ted. Thanks. Saying they can only make the sweet love with a root vegetable. First, when does Squadron 42 come out? We don't know. I'm expecting 2022. Also, how long, if we don't know? Second is when Theatres of War will come out. I've sort of talked about both of those earlier. Theatres of War, expect it to go into more tests over the next couple of quarters, and then go to a wider PTU, would be my expectation. But it will probably be like for test weekends and stuff, even for a wider PTU. They're going to wait until it's polished before it's sort of properly available regularly to the public. Your thoughts on the mole needing a rework? Either a remote turret on top, or even a docking ring on the roof. So, I'd like the turrets to be able to be switched out entirely for just tractor beams. The mole. Yeah, in the future. But I think rather than the mole needing a rework, the game needs to accommodate the mole better, and it sort of will in the future. Do you know what I mean? You are getting mining subcomponents in 3.13, which should affect the way the mole plays, and there's going to be other mining tweaks. I'm not a PC gamer, but I want to get into Star Citizen. Is it worth making the jump from console to PC yet? Not specifically for Star Citizen, no. Because Star Citizen, in my opinion, for most people, is going to be a tourist-type game. So every 3 months, there's a few hundred hours of gameplay for people, or more likely for people that get more casual gamers, a couple of dozen hours of just, oh, this is pretty, or this is cool, what's going on, let's give my feedback, let's get involved with the project a bit, bam, next major patch in 3 months. If you are playing with an org, if you have a group of friends to play with, you can have thousands of hours playing Star Citizen now. So if you can find an org that you want to get involved with, that you want to play with, find good people there, bam, jump across to Star Citizen now. Some people are very much sort of Star Citizen as a way of life, as you can see in the chat. Other people are sort of like, oh, it's not there yet, or I'm playing casually. Some people playing with orgs and having amazing time. And what is the likelihood cargo trade will be fixed in 3.13? It is highly likely there have been tweaks and bug fixes for 3.13's trade. Will it be in a good place? We don't really know until it's in our hands, yeah, and actually tested more widely. But I would expect fixes for some of the major problems with cargo, and you should be able to do a cargo loop. And it's not going to be the dynamic economy or anything, but it should be, not have the same problems that 3.12 has. I want to be able to buy and sell cargo easily. Do you know what I mean? I'm okay with times associated with it, but I don't want to have to wait every minute to click a button. Just automate that process. Will allow me to buy and sell. Have fees associated with it. It's all good. Just give me the amount of... Let me buy the stock. I want the stock. We love the stock. When will land vehicles have their physics upgraded? They are working on that. It is a current focus of them. The sort of like ground vehicles V2 and physics associated with them. And they showed it off relatively recently with them sliding and stuff. We've actually seen... They've talked about rivers and roads before. We've seen some river tech, but not the actual polished rivers. So you will see roads and you will see rivers in the future. To what extent will you see roads? Don't really know. Are they going to have them everywhere, or they're going to have them very few specific roads? Are the Aaron Halo gates a pipe dream? As far as I'm aware, they've done work on them, but I haven't seen much on them. Like nothing polished beyond white and grey box. So, are we going to be able to spawn a ground vehicle in a ship in 3.13? No. You will. The first vehicle and ship spawning is in 3.13, but it's the P52/P72 technically. Like Joe says on every Friday show, every show is someone's first show. Don't you think that the principal directors and pillar pillar responsibles should appear more often to speak about the past, present, and future of the two games. Yes. Yes, I do. Like, I want to see Chris, and I want to see the directors, and I want to see higher-ups talking more about the game more often. CIG are quite good with the amount of information they give us, but there are some things they miss the ball on, and that, and for the chairman, that talking to Chris Roberts every so often is super important. That pillar talk that I used to do is super important. I hope they go back to it. A lot of stuff got disrupted by COVID. Like, they don't want to have a load of Skype calls with bad connections. You know what I mean? So I think that once we're out of lockdown properly, and the world could get back to a bit more normality, that people will be... we'll start to see those shows more often. But in the meantime, we should have had something else. For sure. Forgive me if this has already been asked. I just joined. What are your thoughts on the rumored leak of the Rock DS? So for the people that don't know, spoilers for a couple of seconds. Well, maybe not spoilers. There is a Star Citizen leaks talked about a Rock DS, basically a two-seater, larger version of the Rock. Yeah, makes sense. What it is, it's a Rock with a larger capacity with an extra seat. Pretty much. Cool. Expanding out more ground vehicles and more vehicles in game, more variety. I'm all good with that. Obviously, the Rock in game at the moment gets a huge amount of use, probably the most use of any ground vehicle, as it actually has function. What is the that's what we talked about. GPU prices for this month. Yeah, madness. Next month, these £800 cards will be 600. The month's 400. I think you overestimate the ability to get new cards out. Like, we are probably, in my opinion, going to be in a state of silicon shortages, semiconductor and chip shortages for GPUs for the next year, or next 9 months at least, and probably next year. It's not just a supply issue, there's a demand issue. Obviously, there's a lot of people that want graphics cards that are gamers. There's a lot of people that want them graphics cards because they're scalpers, and people trying to resell them again because they're so valuable. And there's a lot of people that want them because they are crypto miners. Will you be participating in the upcoming Daymar rally? So the Staten 7 and Daymar stuff I do want to get into. I need to contact them. What is the best CCU to save for the Taurus? To save from to? I mean, anything with lifetime insurance? What do you think about the Rock DS? Do you think it destroys the purpose of solar mining on the ground? I think it will be a good addition to the game, and all this stuff needs to be tweaked. Like, I mean, why do you think it's got to be solar mining? Why don't you have like 30 rocks in one ship? I mean, this gives people more choice. I like more choice. Medical tool with salvage is 3.60. Is it? Apologies if I got that wrong. I thought this medical tool and salvage tool was 3.15. Actually, I thought the medical tool was 3.14, to be honest. Yeah, the salvage multi-tool is 3.15. Q3 patch. Show you what I'm looking at. So you've got the multi-tool salvage attachment, 3.15. You've got salvage tier 0, 3.15 currently planned. 3.14 had the medical tool, doesn't it? Has the medical gameplay. Yeah. Medical tool and medical gameplay 3.14. Life medical tools. It's always worth checking because sometimes they change it. On top of the rock hordes, do you think they will make it such that a group of rocks can supply enough heat to crack a large prospector mineable? So there might be situations where rocks need to work together or can work together to crack minables in the future. I hope they standardize it so that all miners can mine all types of rock, but at different effectiveness levels, yeah? I sort of understand why they've separated it, because they want hand mining to be meaningful and different, but I'd have it that you can technically mine some of these nodes either way. Like a larger ship can mine a smaller node if it can find it, but it's much more likely to destroy the node. Maybe some hand mining is probably better. They've talked about some other stuff as well, like you can put like markers or drills and stuff by hand in some asteroids to make them easier to mine, and then get back in your ship and mine them. With the addition of medical gameplay Tier 0, do you expect changes in the Carrack and Cutlery red beds? So, yes, I expect they'll be able to treat more things. Do I think there'll still be spawn points? Probably still in the short term, yeah. I know they want to make hospitals and clinics spawn points, but I think they'll want to keep those medical beds in the short term at least as spawn points until they have like proper tier 1 medical beds. With the reputation system, do you think that players and orgs that have combined reputation that will influence missions? Yes, I think it will be partly based on combined org rating as well. And yeah, maybe there will be a separate track for org confidence / affinity that also opens up more mission types to you. What do you think / want the next alien themed ship, or what do I think it's going to be? What would I like to see? I mean, any capital ship from any of the aliens would be cool. I really love the Tavaran. I love the Tavaran look, and I love the Tavaran sort of stuff. I would like to start to see ground vehicles for each of the races as well, where sensible. I want to talk about the drama in a minute. About PvP drama stuff. I'll probably do a video about that later today as well. Can you cook pasta in mince? In mince? What? You cook your pasta separately in salted water. Don't be a monster, okay? Don't mistreat pasta. Don't boil your mince. Like, you see your mince first and seal it. Get the Maillard effect on what the fuck it's called. I can't remember. Maillard. Maillard. Mallard. You brown it. And you can kick it through and stuff like that. Sourdough pizza for the win, I know, right? I found great keto fries with coconut and almond flour. I'll look into some more fancy cooking with keto. At the moment, I've been doing very quick, basic keto, like broccoli and stuff like that, just as a side. But I do want to look into almond flour donuts and things like, oh. What else have we got here? I appreciate all the birthday love, and I appreciate all the birthday donations and subs. Thank you. Thank you. I've not been keeping up with them particularly well. But I love you anyway. 3080 Ti mid-April. You'll get like 8 seconds to secure one. So, okay. So, yeah, it's going to be a highly wanted card, but it's not going to be as wanted by GPU miners. Because, obviously, it's nerfed again for Ethereum and the Ether hash. First 1 second, just quickly buy it. demanding pets. Well, no, she is a pet, but... Hi. What we got? What we got here? Yeah, so 3080 Ti's, I do expect to be pretty popular, but will they be relatively close to 3090 levels? But will they use the silicon that they could use for 3090s and 3080 Ti's? Will they get a high yield of 3080 Ti silicon? That's sort of supply and demand there. Do I think they're going to be as wanted as other cards that are better for GPU mining? No. But do I still think that scalpers will want to buy all of them? Yes. But even if they do, hopefully they won't overinflate the prices much more. Do you know red meat is a carcinogen? Everything's a oxygen's a carcinogen. Come on. I'm not gonna overly disregard people's thoughts on that. Do you? Like, I don't want red meat to destroy my Pernus. That would be terrible. So I do want to talk about that PvP drama in a second. Like you, I love CIG. Delay is not an issue. This is a feature. No. Okay, so the delays are a fact of Star Citizen, but they're not necessarily. They're certainly not a good thing. It's just a thing. Yeah, Star Citizen is taking its time to try and make a great game. Here's a small donation to cover your great YouTube content I've been watching with Adblocker. Keep up the hard work. Keeping it. Oh, thank you so much. Teshik. Pinshik. Pinshik? Teshik. Thanks. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. I love money. Money's the best. And everyone else that watches Adblocker should also donate £5. No, don't do it. Star Citizen content will continue on the channel, even without huge amounts of donations or anything. Me and Zin are doing pretty well. Obviously, I was able to hire a full-time editor, which I will start making much more use of for better content on the channel. So, is Crusader Part 1 in this patch? No, it is planned to come in 3.14 in the next major patch. Question, when game goes live, when it comes to mining, will the nudes ever replenish, or once it's gone, it's gone? So, we don't know if it's replenishment in a cycle or whatever, or if they've gone, they're gone, or if it's going to be diminishing nodes. So, there is some form of system to have a dynamic economy where resources will run out in an area. But how is that replenished? Does it change? Does it move? We don't 100% know.
Not much, but maybe some protein for you.
I appreciate that, Panther Morton. I appreciate the donation. Not much, but maybe some protein for you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, you star, legend. So yes, there will be obviously locations, asteroid fields, things, points of interest that you can scan down and that might appear. I think there will be some form of replenishment and moving around of resources to some extent, but exactly how CIG are going to do it, we don't know yet. Gib content, I agree. Are you still on the roasted chicken binge? So it's rotisserie chicken rather than roasted chicken. So get it perfectly right, and partially. So I can have rotisserie chicken regularly on keto, and I enjoy doing that. Shall I drink a beer or not? It's 1:20. If you fancy a beer, have a beer. you Dunkel Aura, do not chill. Have a nice icy one. Where can I get Scotch eggs? You can make them yourself. Like, or you get them at the butcher. It's probably a good place to get a good Scotch egg. You just get a sausage roll, jam a boiled egg in it. Scotch egg, done. Remince some pasta. I am the anti-chef. I burn rice in the rice cooker. How? Are you planning to go on with your content after release? Yes. Oh, God, yes. So I do more content after release. So you still want to cover the Star Citizen news, updates to the game, meta, but also cover gameplay and in-game news. Because there's going to be so much going on with organizations and missions. So there will be a mixture of guides. It will be what's profitable in the verse. I could do a daily broadcast, literally looking at how the economy's changed and what's profitable during the day and how that's all moving around. That'd be great. Could have a breakfast show. So I'm looking forward to when the game releases because that's the sort of content I want to start doing regularly. Yeah, BoredGamer News Networky type thing. Do you start some stuff totally in game? Sort of say meow, meow, nyan. What do you want? You give me money, so I'll do what you want. Oh God, it's become that. Revenge X Moon, thank you very much for that super chats. Yeah, we could do a BGNN. Or something, yeah. And there's obviously going to be newscaster vans as well with like the Mako they've got planned for as well. Has there been any word on player-owned stations? So, we know that one of the stretch goals was to have player-run stations. It's possible that they could have station building in the future. It's possible that we could have stations that we fight over in the future, but we haven't had a hard sort of comment from CIG about that. Is the medical gameplay just going to be like a laser heal? So it's medical gel, and the multi-tool attachment for meds is just going to be a quick heal up, sort of a medi-gel heal up. The medical tool is going to be able to treat more sort of ailments and be able to adjust drugs and put different drugs in there. It's going to have an overlay as well, so you can see what's wrong with people, maybe aim at the right thing. Is it just going to be mine healing? So literally, is it going to be like the mining laser with heals? Hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting. It'll be pretty basic for the first iteration. Will ground mining get updated in a similar way to ship mining? There will be more updates to ground mining, yes. And do I think there's going to be a unification of them? I sort of hope so, but in a sensible way. I mean, I do want them to be slightly different. Have CIG said anything about Wave 1 PTU yet? So they originally had wanted to go to PTU Wave 1 on Friday, but it just wasn't ready. So they're looking like Monday or Tuesday now. Any news on the Ares or the Vulture? So obviously we're getting the Ares later this year. And is that... No, Ares? Yeah, we're getting the Ares later this year. Is it 3.16 for the Ares? 15? 14? I can't remember where the Ares is. I'm going to have to check. $3.15 currently has the Ares Ion and Inferno, and the Hercules A2, and the Redeemer. Okay, yeah. And we're also getting the size 7 weapons at the same time. So currently, that's the Q3 patch. Is the 400i a dead parrot? So the 400i, I'm almost certain, will be a thing. Jag. It's not just a joke. It should be a thing coming in the future. Is it going to be a little bit different from what you may have seen on any leaks, probably a little bit different. Do you make Zin work on Sundays? I have asked Zin to do editing on Sundays before sometimes. She sort of has irregular work hours. Do you want to be in my fan-made Tonk ad on release? Yeah, why not? I'll do some... So it's easy for me to star and I can just send you some audio or something. Jeff, I'll help out. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty easy. Any April Fool expectations? There will be some form of weird Star Citizen April Fools. Last year was what, fragrances? The nerf for mining has already been worked around. So you're talking about the 3060 getting the mining hack for it. So there's two things. NVIDIA accidentally released a beta driver which unlocked a single 3060 on a system being able to be used at its full hash rate for crypto mining on Ethereum. But it was only a single one. And then some people realized that if you put in dummy HDMI or dummy outputs for monitors, that also tricked more than one card being able to run its full hash rate. Now, you still need at least a PCI Express slot running at 8 times, with 8 lanes or more. So, realistically, you cannot run multiple 3060s very easily in a single mining rig. So, it's still restrictive. Cristiano Rabate, Scent of Space Gods, indeed. Oh, yes, actually, let's bring up that April Fool's Star Citizen. Star Citizen Fragrance. New merchandise, here we go. Here we go. Bring up 2 of the April Fool's. So we had Planet Tech V5, which was the flattening. Was that last year's? These both might have been last year's, actually. I mean, they're quite good. They're quite good. The art's good. There's a little article about... And then it was, April Fools! And then we also had... This is last year as well. No, this is the year before. So we had the Cristiano Roberto fragrance. I love. So dumb. Quantum. Oh, Sense of Star Citizen. Nice. Impression. Africa Kiss. Bishop number 42. Oh, yeah, I love some of this. Oh, no, what? It was an April Fool's? Yeah, so they do dumb things. They had fish flying around in a hangar when we just had the hangar module at one point. So, I say just the hangar module, and Arena Commander. They've already given us an April Fool's gift, have they? What, this year? April Fool's sub. Oh, you're talking about the. Oh, so there's the Star Kitten helmets, which are coming out. They're not April Fools. They're a thing. What else have we got? Do you or will you do live streaming casual gameplay? Yes, we will be doing that. I will be doing that a lot more regularly in 3.13. I do it very occasionally now. Theatres of War as well. Once we have Theatres of War, I plan to do it a lot more. Do you think we can see the Nautilus in 3.15? So we are getting mines and bombs in 3.15, but I do think it's going to be more for... might see a little mining ship. Mine dropping ship, mine laying ship. And it might be just mine laying for the A2, but I don't think we'll have the Nautilus yet. Do you believe the leaked rock concept looks dumb with a seat outside? I mean, I wouldn't expect any of those leaks to necessarily look exactly like they do. I mean, the original Star Citizen leaks of the rock picture, that was actually pretty good. But as with like the 400i and stuff leak, you don't know. It's when's the next ship sale, as I want to buy a Talon? Fleet Week will be the next major ship sale, end of May. Why is there hype for the reputation system? Is it not already in-game without the tracking UI? So it's not just the UI to track it. It's the titles, it's the extra payouts, it's the implementation of it over more actual gameplay loops and missions. It's not just a tracking UI for 3.13. It's more ingrained into the whole game. Will we see the Gladius gold standard in 3.13? They have been updating the Gladius, and it will be going up to gold standard for certain things. That's what I'll say. Do you think aliens will be a playable option in the future? So they basically said, when asked about this last time, they said not for like a release, but in the further future, we will be looking at that. Right. I want to talk about this. So I'm not going to show it because I haven't shown its validity. So I saw this posted by Salty Mike, or at least retweeted by Salty Mike. And Moist Noodle had messaged me saying, if you want to talk about any of the PvP drama at any point, drop me a bell. I'm happy to chat to you about it. And it's great, so I will take him up on that offer at some point. So I saw this retweeted, and I cannot verify its legitimacy yet, because I haven't had time to. I literally got this while I was streaming. So someone on Twitter has said, anyone else get warnings from CIG? I got one along with my entire org. So did other orgs, apparently. Shooting player excessive killing is now bannable, and streamers can blanket accuse people of stream sniping even with bounties. Disappointed to say the least. So I don't expect that that's entirely 100% accurate. I'm not going to say it's not, because as in I have not done the legitimacy of this. But I suspect that some of that is at least there's a conversation to be had there. I just want to clarify, the warning I got was stream sniping, which I dispute. This warning in particular hit a portion of our guys and didn't make much sense. So not his whole org, a good portion of it for stream sniping. The excessive killing and griefing of players was supposed to be targeted towards harassment. That's, in my opinion, also true. It is supposed to be targeted towards harassment and griefing. Griefing is more harassing and bullying. Lastly, it's time to hold streamers accountable. Blanket accusing people of stream sniping. I don't know if that does that happen quite regularly. I don't accuse people of stream sniping. Or if I did, then I don't mean anything. Well, I haven't. But if I've said someone's stream sniping or whatever, I don't want them necessarily banned. It's content, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's super restrictive and terrible for certain players. Blanket accusing people of stream sniping and creating these false reports, especially given the fact it's now causing damage and ruining other people's gameplay. I'd like to see the instances of where streamers have done that as well then. So, not enough information for me to make a decision on how legitimate that argument is, or not, or isn't, because I would want to see who exactly been accused and why, and who's actually got the warning and why, and who's been making these accusations and why. Yeah. So the warning then, because they've then sent the RSI player relations warning in regard to game conduct. So it basically sent a clip of their email or thing they got in the RSI support page. This message is being sent as a warning that your account has been found in violation of our terms of service, specifically the rules of conduct regarding the harassment, excessive griefing, or interference with another player's ability to play the game. Our evidence indicates you have been engaged in one or more of the following prohibited activities: excessive player killing and griefing. At this time, we request that you immediately halt this behaviour and refrain from these actions in the future. Failure to do so will result in an account suspension or permanent closure. And then someone from the player relations team. So, again, do I think that is an appropriate response for killing a streamer? No. If you are excessively targeting them, stream sniping them, bullying them, and just following them around constantly, effectively griefing them, please don't do this behaviour, might be an appropriate response. I don't know. It depends. There's a load of context that needs to be done there, right? So, yeah, there needs to be more context to that. Because griefing, in my opinion, is bullying, actively harassing someone, preventing them playing the game by any means, by sometimes exploiting or whatever. If you are constantly just hounding a streamer and like doing dumb things just to stop them from being able to stream, or swearing at them repeatedly, or ramming them constantly and like trying to do it so they, or doxing them, or DDoSing them, or doxing them, DDoSing them, or sort of making sure they can't spawn their ships or something like that. That can be moving into the harassment territory. That can be in the griefing territory. But just attacking them and going after them, what if there's bounties? What if they're a criminal? Like, that's legitimate. If you're a criminal and you're trying to do some PvP, that can be legitimate. It depends on a huge amount of context, right? So, I don't want players getting banned or even warned for doing legitimate gameplay. Sometimes it is borderline. Sometimes players don't understand what they're doing on the harassment front or the sort of like bullying front. But a lot of the time, it could be a streamer or other people overreacting as well. So, as I said, not enough information there, but I will do some more research into it, and I'll probably talk about it to some extent. Noodle did reach out to me, and I have seen some other people posting about it. So, we'll talk about it in a video, potentially later today, but more likely during the week. Yeah, I mean, I want PvP to be in Star Citizen, but I also want some areas of Star Citizen, some of the systems to be PvP to be almost impossible to happen in certain areas, like on Terra, and if it does happen, for the players that got attacked, them as long as they're lawful players, for that to not really matter that much. Like, yeah, someone pulls a gun out at you in Terra and shoots you in the back of the head. Yeah, well, the best hospitals in the world there, and I mean, they shouldn't be able to do that, really. They should get punishments, go to prison, all that sort of stuff. be a big hit to their standing, financial hit potentially, but there's hospitals there for you. Bam, you just get revived there for free. Don't lose one of your lives. Do you know what I mean? GTA 5 it. For like people blowing up your ships and stuff in safe areas. But I do want PvP in the game. I do want PvP to occur in certain areas, and I want PvP, clever PvP players that do PvP for a reason, to be rewarded. If you're trying to assassinate someone because of a bounty that has legitimate gameplay behind it, and you spent a year trying to do it, and you've got the perfect situation to do it, great. There's a billion great stories in Eve. But it's a bit nuanced. So, for those of you, for those with a hands-on, is that dual stick? Who's this dual stick? Do you think we will get interval track control with a tonk? Who's... Stick and steering wheel? What is HOSIS? Stick and wheel? I don't know what HOSIS is. I'm doing fine, thanks. It was my birthday recently. I'm 36 years young. I'm getting old. I'm getting really old. Oh god, we've got a load of questions as well. Has there been any news about the Apollo being flight ready? Obviously, we've got medical gameplay starting soon. No, there's been no news to that. Expect for them to get the medical gameplay they've got planned out, and then expand up towards the Apollo pretty quickly. I'm grinding now to get out of my Aurora MR. Just got the starter ship. Is bounty hunting the best way to earn credits right now? Yeah, some of the missions, bounty hunting in Aurora is probably pretty solid. Will this game in the future have the option to alt characters? To have alt characters, I believe so. We're expecting alt characters on the same account. So what do you think will happen when they want to introduce more star systems? Do you think there'll be procedural like Elite Dangerous? So they use procedurally assisted tools to build the planets, but it's going to be much more handcrafted. There might be some more procedural nature of points of interest that appear, like salvage sites, like points of interest, like asteroid fields and things like that, or encounters. HOSIS, not HOSAS. HOSAS is joystick. What is HOSIS? HOSIS. No, we're not talking about HOSAS. HOSIS. I think they mean HOSAS, joystick. Okay, maybe they mean HOSAS. Maybe that's why my brain broke. Oh, sorry, I meant the yeah, they did mean joystick. Joystick is great, and expected to get more support. It's great if you like it. It's like any way of playing Star Citizen is legitimate controller-wise. You want to use a controller, you want to use a mouse and keyboard. If you want to use a HOTAS, HOTAS feels the best for me. Mouse and keyboard is the easiest to use, because you're going to be moving between first-person shooter and your ship. Do you think what do you think the future of the Star Citizen map will be? So they're working on a new Star Map, the new Star Map app, and I think they're trying to integrate Galactopedia. They're trying to integrate the website Star Map all into sort of the same sort of thing for the game. Is there a time frame to when we are getting ships? Sorry, getting the cameras to assist with landings? No. So they've talked about underground, underbelly cameras, or a sort of like low res view of the ground, but we don't know when that's coming. Does anyone know where this B-roll's from? This is from the Squadron 42 Vertical Slice 2018. It's my cut of it. Do you think people who camp a station at the moment and try to kill everyone who leaves the station should be banned? No. I think there should be reasons to have lockdowns there, and I think there should be security that respond properly to that. And I think there should be missions to take those people out, and they shouldn't be able to avoid the penalties of when they get captured or attacked. Also, I think they should stay with them. If someone's done that, then they shouldn't be able to use stations other than potentially Grimhex for many days. Yeah, and the reputation system will hopefully start affecting that. Being a technical person regarding this warning, I would ask where's the source of the message originated from. So we got any other questions? Saw lots a second ago, but I missed past some of them. There we are. What is the music that you have at the end of your video? It's Ordinary People, and it is a Star Citizen track that appears in Microtech around Twin Sandwiches. It's the full track that Zen uses, or part of it's not the full track, it's part of a different part of the track. Do you think people who camp a station at the that's alright, we talked about that. Regarding to coming permadeath, is it a good idea to support the murder hobo griefer behaviour? You don't want to support that behaviour, no. You want to support people doing legitimate PvP, risk and reward, and missions and counter missions. But I mean, murder hobo griefers, they're going to lose a lot. What else have we got? Do you think we talked about? Yeah, I don't want murder hobos. That's just ridiculous. But I want legitimate reasons to do PvP. I want legitimate piracy. And I don't want the response from pirates to always be murder, 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 murder. It should be to get money, to do gameplay. And there's going to be bounties and stuff as well, so... But you want the effects of being a naughty man to persist for a lot longer and be quite crippling in certain areas and for certain things. Will there be a crossover between your Squadron 40? What I also want to do is to somehow try to eliminate as much as possible the ability to appear as a friendly and then just sort of strike and go, lol, I wasn't really friendly, I was a pirate. So, okay, well, if you're a pirate, you should be obviously a pirate for huge periods of time. Do you know what I mean? Will there be a crossover between your Squadron 42 character and the Persistent Universal character? Yes. So it's the same character for the most part, and unlocking stuff in Squadron 42 will allow you to make use of like the or get access to the F8 Lightning in game and some other military gear and things like that. Will trade be fixed this patch? There should be improvements to trade and bug fixes from 3.12 to 3.13 for cargo. It should be in a significantly better place. If that came out wrong, if they have 100 systems planned, after this, will they keep the 100 or will they keep adding handmade ones? I suspect they'll keep adding handmade ones. It's going to be much more handmade stuff, tailored stuff, rather than just entirely procedurally generated. It is a higher degree of fidelity, several magnitudes above just what you can get from just procedural generation. Do you think Star Citizen should be more culturally diverse, like in Cyberpunk? Feels all very repetitive and bland. They'll add more to the game as it goes on, sort of lore and culture-wise. I mean, the way they've tried to be culturally diverse is with the aliens, more than anything else. The sort of UEE and everything's become sort of like a general Earth Empire melting pot. Do I expect any April Fool's shenanigans from CIG? Yes, for sure. Probably a fake ship sale this year, ship or pirate, ship or that sort of thing. I would expect. Cringe title. So the title changed because a COG employee came in and went, "What have we done wrong? I'm sorry," sort of thing. It's like, okay, let me change the title then. It's supposed to be a cringe title. Alright. Before it was, I think, a bit confusing because it was like, wait, why no 3.13? I think it's, caused some people to panic. I was grumpy. Oh, excited for June. Is there a new June series coming out? I had heard something. I like June. Don't love June, but I like June. Have we had issues with cheating in Star Citizen? So there's combat logging, which is terrible etiquette. I don't really care at this stage. In the future, that's not going to save you. There has been cheats for Star Citizen previously that I've seen, especially for Star Marine. And there was lag switching as well, ages ago. So any multiplayer game gets cheats. It drives me mental. As long as there's good enough logging from CIG's perspective, they can identify cheaters and ban them permanently. If you are cheating, or if you are using an exploit to break the game, it's not just like, oh, I've accidentally found an exploit. It's you are using that exploit to try and constantly profit. It should be just bannable. Ban. That's when the full game comes out. When we're in an alpha, and potentially even when we're in a beta, and you are testing the game, don't ban people for doing exploits, because they might be doing bug reports. They might be trying to work out exactly how that works and report that to CIG. Okay? Like, they're two different things. It's one of the reasons I'm more forgiving of borderline PvP, griefing, bullying stuff, that I go, well, I'll always, hopefully it's not malicious, hopefully it's just people wanting gameplay, but it's better to have systems that become obvious how they can solve issues with PvP and griefing and stuff like that in game now. Get that now, work it out, have a lore system and a gameplay system that supports it all in game, or as much as possible in game, that's sort of as automated as possible, so that you don't have to worry about these problems occurring. And when the edge cases do, then you can get a games master to sort them out. But I'd want as little sort of input and influence from games masters as possible on those sort of things. Will hiring more steep mountains ever be possible? Yes, larger scale and different sloping stuff will be possible, and they keep on tweaking their tools. And you'll see different types of mountain and different types of geology on different planet types. Any news updates on refueling? They pushed some of it back, some of the refueling stuff, I know that. What do you think is the logic behind putting the new delivery missions on the roadmap, but not the new cave FPS missions? Where's the line? Exactly. That's a good point. I'm not entirely sure where the line is, but it might just be sometimes it's sort of like, well, actually I suspect next week you'll see the FPS cave missions added to the roadmap. Sometimes they're not sure if they're going to be ready or not. And I don't think there is a hard line. What I want to see from PvP gameplay in the mid-term, or short-term actually, is orgs to be able to declare war on each other and get rewards for destroying each other's ships. And have them be able to org wars and freely engage each other as enemies, both just detected as enemies. Yeah? Do a lot of the stuff Eve style. Eve's got a lot of good in that game. Any notable birthday gifts? Just the presence of you guys is presents enough for me. No, people gave me money and stuff. They don't know what to give me. I know one of my cameramen actually got me something. I asked people to not get me birthday presents. Lots of people donating stuff, so very much appreciated. I'm going to go bio, and then we'll talk a little bit, and then I'll wrap up the returned. Oh, someone sent me money. Birthday gift. Fataki, thank you very much. I appreciate the money. Start. What else have we got? To improve frames per second, does changing settings to medium, high, medium, low actually help? Not much. It's not optimized in a way that can actually make much of a difference. It does affect the amount of, based on the amount of RAM and graphics card RAM you have as well, but not really. So I'm expecting 3.13 first wave PTU Monday, Tuesday time. So pretty soon. Do I think that a load of people were getting warnings for stream sniping? I don't know. Maybe. I'll look into it a bit more, see what the drama's behind it. I'll drop Noodle a message and see what he says about it. But I need to check the validity of everything. And I suspect the truth is somewhere in between legitimate and a bit unreasonable. So somewhere in between those two. Rather than entirely fabricated or entirely true. So, what sorcerer is this? Does Chris not have a body? No, he's just an intangible head. Did you not know? That's why he's really good at looking over people's shoulders at CIG. He just floats there. Can I buy Squadron 42 separately? Yes, you can. And I think, is it $45 at the moment separately? Pledge store. Thought you could buy it separately. Games. Squadron 42. Pledge now. Yeah, so standalone Squadron 42 pledge. Is that. That's the Squadron 42 standalone pledge. Like $35 plus tax. Something like that. Can I get a Mercury Star Runner for free if I win a Millennium Falcon trivia? No! No, you can't. So you can just buy Squadron 42 standalone as single player start. It is single player Star Citizen campaign, but it's not released yet. Squadron 42 is effectively a separate game from Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. Star Citizen's Persistent Universe is the MMO portion. That's the thing that's an alpha at the moment. Squadron 42 is going to be the single player campaign, which this is a demo of on the screen, which is coming out potentially in 2022 is the hope. It's not an add-on, it's not DLC, it is a separate game. What is your guess on... Well, they are connected. What is your guess on a release for 3.13 live build? I think the target will be end of next week, if possible. Might bleed over a few days over that. But it does depend on how the PTU phase goes. Sorry, PTU phase goes. Now I'm getting it wrong. Medium salvage ships soon. So we'll either see a medium salvage ship or we'll see modules for ships allowing them to do salvage. Don't tell Crytek that. Indeed. I suspect that any settlement that Crytek and CIG came to allows CIG to do what the hell they want now. Question. PvP griefing actual in-game prison time that gets longer due to Star Citizen criminal record that might give you a choice to enter server of non-PvP non-privacy. So I think just I think they're going to not want to have entirely separate servers for PvP non-PvP. I think they want to have it all on the same server with everyone. I just think there's going to be some star systems which are PvP orientated and some that aren't.
Love your vids board.
Some that are in between. Love your vids board. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate the hustle. Thank you very much, Venom Sting. Oh, you star. So yeah, 3.13. Hopefully on Monday or Tuesday. A lot of stuff that I want to do differently in BoredGamer stuff. So I want to start getting out maybe 2 videos a day. I don't know if people like the short format ones or the sort of 10-minute-ish ones, more in-depth ones, or a mixture of the two. Because I think probably I'll try and do the mixture of the two. I want to do more gameplay, not just live stream more gameplay, but actually more gameplay loops and stuff in game that we play. Because obviously me and Zin can play together and do a lot of the stuff together. Now, wait, I thought we were getting a PvP slider. So they moved away from PvP slider, saying that they wanted PvP to technically be able to occur in game. But they also said that there's going to be lore systems, there's going to be security, there's going to be a load of systems and in-game things that prevent PvP in certain areas. And that sort of stuff is still being developed and discussed as well. So I saw your stream on Cobra TV and you seemed kind of unimpressed. What are your thoughts on the stream? By the way, happy birthday. What? What do you mean? I love Cobra TV. I appreciate him calling me, getting me onto his stream. It's good. It's good love. I'm bipolar, so I mean, my mood switches pretty rapidly. So it wasn't about me. I was pretty tired. I'm quite honest and blunt about my feelings on things. How about a dance TikTok? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what you kids do with your TikToky dances. What? Is that dabbing again? I don't know. Well, I know dabbing is now the universal symbol for hate. I don't know.
Tricksy little hobbits.
Wookie Rage, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. When do you think they'll release Squadron 42? Some point in 2022. I'm hoping mid-2022, but more likely end 2022. It was a joke. But, okay. It's hard to read context of jokes and sarcasm in text. Sorry. I enjoyed my stream with Cobra. It's a good chap. If I haven't streamed with someone before, I will try and be as relaxed as possible, as in not sort of like and trying to because I can talk a lot and I can also want to make my point and but I don't want to overly talk over other people and I want them to be able to talk as well, and so sometimes I might try and mellow myself. Maybe they're picking up on that. I don't know. I enjoyed that stream though. How goes your culinary exploits of late? So I'm on keto at the moment, so I'm doing keto cooking. Very basic keto cooking at the moment, just learning what I can and can't eat more readily. But I want to look at doing some almond flour stuff and some coconut flour stuff so that I can eat a bit more. Cauliflower rice as well, someone was saying. I was like, not a massive fan of cauliflower, but I do like rice. Can you pirate other players' ships and store them in your hangar? So you can't store them in your hangar yet properly, but you will be able to in the future. You will be able to pirate and stuff. So piracy is going to be a part of the game. We even talked about the...
Thank you for all you do. Stay awesome.
Thank you very much. Canic, for a tier 2 sub, you monster. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for all you do. Stay awesome. I will attempt to stay as I am. If that is what you consider awesome, then I think your barriers to entry are pretty low. But I appreciate it. Just have brown rice. I can't on keto, really. It's too many carbs still. But I would. Sort of like I was having quinoa and before my diet. I was on a quite a good diet. I lost quite a bit of weight. And then I went, well, actually, I do want to lose a bit more. So I think keto potentially works for me. But very low carb, extremely low sugar, high fat, medium amounts of protein. Is there a way to save your changes to the options and settings? Yes, through a user.cfg file. There's a guide to it on my website. It does need to be updated to be a bit more relevant now, though. And also, probably when we have the Gen 12 renderer stuff coming online, you should see graphics options that you can just save. And they should be more consistent and persistent. Cauliflower as pizza dough is really good. Okay. Comes out like a thin crust. I will check it out. I'll check out cauliflower pizza. Will Squadron 42 have replayability as a single player game? Apparently so. Apparently it's going to be replayable. But obviously they can't have major changes in the way that the game plays out because it would affect the game's lore. So it would have to be something that's classified so it doesn't really affect the lore in the right way, or it's more that you can't see the whole story unless you play it a few times. Which folder do I put my user.cfg? There's a guide on my website. Just a guide straight on my website. Go through all that. BoredGamer.co.uk. As a trader map means services, how might navigation pan out in the future? Compasses, markers, key and coordinates and such? Yes. Like, there is going to be ways of sharing mapping data, sharing locations. There's going to be ways of navigating, coordinates or compasses or stuff, but we don't know exactly what. Or new trailer. No. This is 2018, end of 2018, Squadron 42 vertical slice. Right. Question. Happy birthday, Bored. Thank you. Hope you're having a nice day. Appreciate it. I would like to join Star Citizen and play. Is my PC. Your graphics card is not up to snuff. The GTX 760, it is not good enough. I haven't played on a virtual machine myself. Oh no, of course I have. I've played on... That's virtualizing on Shadow. Virtual machines can work fine with Star Citizen. Your graphics card is not up to scratch, in my opinion. 760 is just too many generations behind, and it was a mid. It was good, but it was mid tier graphics card at the time. So when this game releases, there could be no other game that's possibly better. I mean, that might not necessarily be true. It depends on the circles, whatever. I do genuinely think it's going to be a genuinely great game. I think Squadron 42 is going to be fantastic and top tier. And I think that Star Citizen is going to be hugely played by me for many hours. And I think it will be very mainstream and very fun. Many magnitudes beyond what Eve was able to do with its launch. I just think there's more ability to do this sort of hugely scaled games now. And there's more of a thirst for that. And more PC power to be able to do it. Kevlar, so if you literally save a user.cfg, let me find the guide on my website. Just make a user.cfg. That should save all those settings. Guides, user.cfg guide. This does need to be updated, but it should still serve a purpose. You just need to find the... There you go, buddy. I appreciate the hype train. Thank you. Cauliflower rice will make you angry. Okay. It might make me angry. And RAM and cauliflower rice. What minimum GPU and CPU would you personally recommend? So, CPU can get away with a lot. You can get away with quite low end, third generation, top end third generation Intels might even be appropriate still. Like 3000 series. GPU wise, really you don't want anything lower than like a 980 really anymore. Sort of GeForce 980 to yeah. The lowest sort of card you can probably get away with at 1080p. Sort of knowing that it's going to be problem is like a 1060, 980 sort of area. Yeah. RAM 16 gigs, really. 32 is what I'd recommend. Though you can get away with less, but you might be making concessions. You have to have it on an SSD, otherwise you're mad. What What do you think? Do you think we will get marking targets for allies? So, yes, I think we'll have colours for groups, different filters, colours for org members, org member names, colours for neutrals, enemies. Much better filtering system for targeting. When are CIG going to show off that bloody gas giant tech that we've been waiting for ages? In the next quarter, you'll start to see it. I want a 1070 Ti and she's struggling. Okay, exactly. Really, you want to be on a 3060 plus if you can. Gas giant tech. When are we going to start to see Crusader, basically, the proper Crusader? You half-read my question. Twice you did this to me. Do you think we will get marking targets for allies that don't have line of sight, more of a ground combat system? Do I think we'll be able to see allies through walls? That's a good question. I don't entirely know. Probably, although you might need some special equipment or something. Probably be able to see people on radar and stuff. I don't know, for sure. Jeff, I do that regular. Half read people's questions and then reply to part of it and then move on before I've read the other. Get a much better experience with a 2060 than you did a 980 Ti. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's sort of borderline. You can play it on sort of like a 980 tech. When people say minimum, I'll give them minimum requirements. Will tier 0 poop tech include some sort of new visual improvements? So I suspect that the PP and poo-poo and the showering will be a thing. And I suspect that will affect your hygiene. But I don't think there's actually going to be a full-on log simulation. Right. Happy birthday, Bored. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the bits, Panther Modern. That's very much appreciated. BoredGamer and Chris Roberts sit down sometime in the future. I mean, I'd love to interview Chris and have a bit of a chat with him at some point. I'm planning, as soon as the lockdown ends, to go to a Wimslow, an office tour, CIG, again, because they're great. And hopefully I'll interview someone there, whether that be the Sean Tracy or Aaron Roberts or Luke Presley or someone like that. I have to wait and see. So office tours give me a huge amount of insight and understanding, and a good amount of knowledge, and let me ask questions. And obviously I can't reveal everything I see there because I'm very much NDA'd, but some of the stuff I can talk about, and it does help me plan my content. And obviously I will get anything I get from an interview is public. So is it my actual birthday? It was on Friday. Do you think it looks like PTU Wave 1 can be Monday? Yes, it looks very likely Monday or Tuesday, unless there's a blocker. So that looks like to be CIG's current plan. Do you ever hear about the new lockdowns coming? To combat with the incoming COVID surge. So, in the UK is the new place I know much about the COVID, the COVIDs. It's they've extended their powers up to October, emergency measures, but they did want a roadmap where it would allow us to leave lockdown, so we'll have to see what happens. Lots of people have been vaccinated in the UK, and assuming that the variants are sort of like aren't immune to the vaccine, then I think everything's probably going to be pretty solid for getting out of lockdown, but we'll have to wait and see. It was a prediction on when we will be in Pyro. Middle of 2022. Can you ask Chris Roberts to put my cat in game? If I remember, my cat has curly ears. Looks kind of alien. Nice. Cat pics, please, on my Discord. Right. second half of the question is that you cut. You think the Tonks tracks supporting the HOSAS on each side of the tracks? So I know that it's going to be proper tank tracks, and the changes in speed of the tracks is going to be how it turns. Do I think you could do it on a HOSAS, each track? You could probably set it up like that. I haven't actually thought about it that much, and I don't know how CIG are implementing it, but that would be cool. Potential for a BoredGamer PogChamp. Oh, God. How do you do PogChamp? I'm not a raptor or... do you know if they found those people who had... Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know that much about the some of the COVID stuff in the UK. I mean, I know a bit. I didn't know that there were people that got through with the variant. BoredGamer, I have to ask, is there really much of a shock that the PTU is now? They did want to have it out on Friday. I know that. But that was the plan, but it just wasn't ready. It seems like they need to start Evocati testing a week sooner. Yeah, I agree. How do the game studio tours work? Do CIG advertise them? Concierge, will that help? So they occasionally have concierge tours, I know that. Like once a year they were doing concierge tours. It will probably change somewhat now after COVID. They've probably updated some of their policies and stuff. But sometimes they have advertised tours, but a lot of the time it's sort of contact CIG and they'll put you on the tours list. And they say, do you want to come on this tour? Sort of ask them, and they... Did you get your GPUs? No. Been waiting 5 to 6 months for my GPU and CPU. It's not great, is it? It's not great, is it, Mike? When will Zin stream with you again? Potentially on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll be able to stream some 3.13. When was the first time CIG hit the exact date for a PTU or live build? They've done it a few times recently. Can't name the exact one. And the same way I can't name the exact ones they've delayed other than having it. Well, we don't even know if 3.13 live is delayed yet. I mean, any day after Wednesday, so from Thursday onwards, you could count it as they've missed their date of a rough release of the end of the month. Although, I think if they get it out by the end of the week, end of next week, I think that's more than fine. CPUs are stuck in the Suez Canal. Oh no. Can you imagine? Right. 3.12 is on time. I mean, a lot of it's been on time or within like a week of their targets. But yes, so 3.13.x, we're not getting... Well, in 3.13.x, so not in the initial release of 3.13, we are going to be getting ship-to-station docking, the Nova tank, and the C2 and M2 Hercules Starlifter. Could maybe have some other stuff as well, like bug fix improvements and things. Could there be some extra stuff that has not been revealed in 3.13 yet, that comes out of 3.13? Yes, there could be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the whole 3.13 patch cycle. Obviously, we've got Fleet Week at the end of May, and we've also potentially got the 9 times lockdown, whatever that's going to be, and whatever that's going to be. I'm looking forward to that. I am going to go host someone else and jump off so I can get some nom-noms. Yeah, the mixture of the Suez Canal being blocked, the global trade being affected, sort of, well, it is, and shortage of silicon, and the COVID stuff, and tariffs on China, and added tax, all of it together is, pretty rough. So, Solly Mike is talking about CIG taking action against player actions. So he's talking potentially with a bit more detail what CIG was doing there, and if it was hopefully with a bit more of the context around it, rather than just sort of like, if this is true, then they're monsters. So hopefully it's more research than that. I would expect Solly Mike to have done that. So we're going to go host him, give him some love. He is a beautiful boy. And he's he used to be one of my best Star Citizen and like very good mates. We have not been in contact much recently. Well, actually, that's not true. Very recently, we got back in contact with each other properly. So I'm hoping to recultivate that relationship because I love the boy. He's a good chap. Do you think Pyro's gone from the game? No, you'll see Pyro probably by the middle of next year is what I'm hoping. But it's going to be in game. Don't you worry. Right. Love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Happy birthday to me. Thank you very much for all the donations and all of the subs, especially from Monsters. Who was it? Elfwin. Elfwin giving it loads of subs away. You're beautiful. And Splinter Pro. Splinter Pro. Billions of subs, like 15 subs or something. Loads of people sub. Lots of people gave me money. Moon. Fataki. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Give Salty Mike, the artist previously known as Twerk, some love, and I will see you guys soon. Peace, love, and all that jazz.